Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 29th of December 2021, and the time now is 6:15 a.m. Well, today is our biweekly review, and the topic I would like to talk about is firstly about the reading session, and second topic is the polluted seafood. Yeah, so how about you?
The first topic I want to make a review is the polluted seafoods, and the second is about the paradox of identities.
Okay. Yeah, anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Right, so before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Okay, okay, how about I start my sharing first with the reading session, and then uh, actually the both of the topics I talk about today are they are related.
Mm, yeah,
So and you may follow after my second topic, which is the polluted seafood. Okay, so for our reading session, and then the book Eats the Beach Disease, and then for the part we talk about mercury. Yeah, and then yeah, that day you are right. The fish that are large as well as at the top of the food chain tend to contain more mercury. And then for here, I would like to kind of like add into 2 points, and also like to uh, because I do further research and I found that I'm more certain about a few things. And first is all fish or all seafood actually contain mercury. It is just a matter of degree. Yeah. So basically, we couldn't find, let's say, some seafood which contain like zero mercury or free of mercury. Yep. And the second point I would like to add in here is our body can actually clear out the mercury, uh, but this process will take like a few months or even years. Yep. And then from these 2 points, uh, what we can do is for the first point, all fish contain mercury. So what we do is actually quite direct, which is also as suggested in the book, which is to avoid eating those with high mercury. Yeah, for the second point, which is our body can clear out the mercury, what we can do here is actually we can try to consume some so-called metal detox food. Yeah, the metal detox food here, which means some foods we can actually consume, and then they will help us to remove those mercury from our bodies. Yeah, and the foods here, there are quite a lot, and I'm going to share with you four here, which is I think more common. And the first one is the garlic. The second one is green tea, and the third one is tomatoes, and the fourth one is lemon water. Yeah, so by consuming these foods, uh, maybe often or once a time, and then it can help us to uh, kind of like remove the mercury in our bodies. And because all fish contain mercury, and I'm not sure, I think also for some other foods that we consume, and then these metals actually metal substance actually keep in our bodies, and then maybe they need months or years to uh, fully come out of our body. So if you consume these kind of foods, it actually is a good way to deal with this kind of metal substance in our body. Yeah, so this is the first topic I would like to talk about. And yeah, next I go on to the next topic, which is the second topic, which is about polluted seafood. Yeah, for here, yesterday, it's not yesterday, it's yesterday. Yesterday I talked about the farm-raised fish versus the wild-caught fish. Yeah, and then for here there are some more bad news for the farm-raised fish. Yeah, I remember yesterday I talked about maybe for the farm-raised fish, uh, they are less polluted, and then they are safer. Yeah, but for here, actually, look at here is which is most fish farms, they are located in the ocean also, and then they are close to the shoreline. They are closer to the origin of pollution. Yeah, and for here, I would like to mention is that the fish, they uh, they they can absorb the mercury not only from food, but also like when they are breathing. Yeah, using uh, uh, they are breathing, and then the water will go inside their body, and also the mercury. There are mercury in the water also. Yeah, and so for fish farms, those fishes they also get polluted, and then maybe more serious because they are more normally they are closer to the shoreline, and on top of that, which is the food that they eat may not be chemical free as well. And for this one, uh, some which a very common food for the farm fish is the crops, and the crops here is they it will contain a lot of pesticides. Yeah, when they are growing the crops, and then they need to apply pesticide so that the crops can grow well. So this crop after that, this crop will become the food of the fish. So it seems like indirectly the fish will uh, consume the pesticides. Yeah, and then yeah, so these are the points I would like to add in, and also not to mention the doses of antibiotics, which is used in the fish farms, and then this is something necessary, compulsory for them because they invest a lot of money in the fish farm, so they couldn't afford any like the diseases or the pest for the fish farm. Otherwise, maybe the whole pond of fish will die because of some diseases. So antibiotics is something really very often to the fish in the fish farm. Yeah, so these are the things I would like to talk about today.
Hmm. Yeah, and just now you talk about some food can detoxify the mercury, right? And
Yeah.
uh, what's the process? How it work?
Yeah, I didn't check on that.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, about the polluted seafoods, yesterday I missed a point, in which is these polluted seafoods can actually link to the topic before yesterday, which is the holistic planning.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so I actually make 2 points. The first is don't need to worry too much about the microplastic, worry about the mercuries, or worry about the polluted seafoods.
Hmm.
Mm, maybe there are many other things that mm, is is worth our eyes for more.
Hmm.
For example, the vaccines. Yeah, of course, the vaccines is not just the vaccines. In my opinions, this is not just about the vaccines. This is about the control, the government control, and also the country control. they'll force you to do something. This is the biggest one. And I think this is worse than any kind of pollution to your body from
Mm.
food. Yeah. And yeah, because mm, not only food can cause you die. Mm, yeah, if you lose your control in your life, the social participation rate lower. It also increase your mortality. It also increase your overall death rate. Yeah, and this is I think this is a kind of like the 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 thing that is worse. It's worse than the polluted food.
Mm.
And this is this is the first. And second is the mental health is important. Some people the the argument is because the mental disease couldn't quantify it, so couldn't measure the negative impact of the mental health of the mental disease. So there's no evidence show that this is important and this is worth our eyes for focus on. Of course, this is wrong. Yeah. And also, how about the whole society? The crime rate increase, your security, your security uh, being compromised. All of these things will affect your mortality. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I think this is bigger than that. And instead of focus on the polluted seafoods, what we should do is how to survive. Not just survive. It means not just like get enough food, not just like keep your house, but how to live at least not worse off within in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. This is a very important uh, quest that everybody need to focus on. And anybody fail to do that, their why their their health and also their wealth will be wiped out. Definitely.
Mm.
No matter how less the polluted food you consume, no matter how healthy the food you consume.
Mm. Yeah, so which means there are a lot of bigger issues which if we didn't we didn't do well, and in the long term it also make us have to compromise our health, right?
Mm. Yeah, so this is a cost and benefit analysis. Is it not something like polluted seafood is good for your health? No. Is it bad for your health? Is it bad for your body? That's there are other things which is worse for your body. You need to focus on the worst one.
Mm. Yeah.
And microplastic, all of these things is too small compared to those big things. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and yeah, this is the kind of the summary of the second point. And
Yeah.
the first point is linked to the holistic planning. And on the topic before yesterday, I talked about the law of nature. On the land, we need grass, we need grasses, we need sunlight, we need we need a high quality of soil, and we also need animal.
Mm.
We need chicken, we need every kind of animal, goat, sheep, uh, and also one of the most important is a cow or cattle. Yeah,
Mm.
because they can consume, they can eat the foods that we couldn't eat. and then they convert the grasses and then into the fertilizer, and then give back to the land. So first thing is the soil quality will increase, not decrease. And
Mm.
then the second is the cow and also the cattle is one of the food source of human. So it's kind of like they convert something inedible for human become edible for human.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
can eat a
like
meat.
a food chain, right?
Yeah, so this is a food chain.
Mm.
Yeah, and you try to imagine that I don't know what kind of what kind of understanding you have about the physics, about the thermodynamics, the law of thermodynamics, which is if you break down everything,
Mm.
and the energy is the fundamental of everything. Everything is a function of energy. If we lose the energy, we all will die. What is the energy? The most important energy is sunlight. Yeah, this is energy.
Mm.
But energy doesn't mean it's electricity. Yeah, of course you can use a solar panel and convert the sunlight into the battery, and then so you can charge your phones. You can use it to do your thing. This is electricity. Electricity
Yeah.
is not equal to energy. They are not the same thing.
Mm.
You can find a way to convert energy to electricity. Electricity electricity still is a function of energy. If you don't have energy, you will not have electricity.
Mm.
And but how to convert energy into something that we can benefit from, just like the electricity, we can directly use the energy. We have the control on that.
Mm.
We don't have control over the sunlight. We don't have control over the wave. We don't have control. I mean the sea wave. Yeah. And we don't have control the what is it called, mm, uh the heat. Okay, the heat power. We don't have control over the the power, the energy come from the flow of the water, and
Mm.
we don't have control we don't have control over
Wind?
the the wind, and also uh what is there's one thing I want to say, but I forget how to pronounce. This is like the this is like the come from the volcano,
Oh,
or it's come from the
the heat underground, right?
the heat underground. Yeah, I think it's called maybe it's called the geothermal. Yeah, I forget it. Okay,
Mm.
and yeah, we don't have control over that. And of course, we can try to find a way to build some infrastructure, to use some equipment, to convert it into the electricity.
Mm.
Then we are able to command it. And also, it is same as the crude oil, the fossil fuel,
Mm.
the coal. We don't have we couldn't directly get the energy from it. And also, everything has the energy. Everything is just a form of energy. Everything is just a combination. It's just a no combination. Maybe I should use a crystallization, or maybe I should use the uh mm, it's a density, or maybe maybe crystallization is a bet is a better vocab here. So everything is built. from the energy. They need the energy to 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 uh, to be produced. You look at all of our things, chair, table, all of these things come from somewhere. Maybe
Mm.
come from plastic, maybe come from metal. All of these things need energy to need any energy to produce it, and the material itself is also a form of is also a form of energy. Yeah, and so everything is a function of energy. And what is the most important energy in the world? Is sunlight. Yeah, if the sun don't shine, don't shine,
Mm.
start from tomorrow, all of the living things in the planet will die. Will definitely die. Within a very very short period.
Mm.
The first is the grass. The grasses couldn't grow. Animal don't have food. Animal die, and humans don't have food. Human die.
Mm.
Yeah, and also the microorganism also couldn't grow, also couldn't multiply. They also die. So
Mm.
every and also the water uh freeze,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
the water turned into ice, and microorganism couldn't multiply in uh when it get frozen. So
Mm.
everything will die. Every all of the living thing in the planet will die.
Mm.
So you can see how sunlight is so important. But how to convert sunlight, this the most powerful energy, into something that we can consume, into something that we can utilize. First you may think solar panel.
Mm.
Yeah, solar panel is one of it. But another is the law of nature, which is the grasses. The grasses can directly absorb the energy from sunlight,
Mm.
and the grasses can grow. An animal consume the grasses, and we consume the animal. Or maybe the animal produce a fertilizer, and then we use fertilizer to grow our crops. Yeah, and also cow, the animal will die, and then it also a source of fertilizer.
Mm.
Yeah, and also grasses need very very long time to decompose, to become a quality of soil. But animal meat is not like that. Animal meat can turn into can turn into a good soil very fast. Maybe a few days plus water. You don't need to do anything.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So this is how the nature works. This is the law of nature, and this is such a so important thing. And everyone's keep ignoring keep ignore that, and then try to use the human mankind to reverse it, to convert it, to against it.
Mm.
Mm. And you look at the sea. Sea also has its law of nature, and without humans, the fish will become healthier.
Mm.
The sea quality will become better, much better.
Yeah.
The macro level will become much lower.
Mm.
And how the marine animals survive, like the pond on the of or the shrimp, sorry, or the on the shrimps, they eat the seaweed, they eat the sea grasses, they eat the microorganisms,
Mm.
and then small fish eat the prawn, eat the shrimps, and then big fish eat the small fish, and then the giant fish eat the big fish.
Mm.
Nothing human need to do. Yeah, uh, at this level.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is also the law of nature. And what humans do is humans go to go to pollute the sea, and and kind of like increase the chemical in the sea, and then now the seaweed couldn't grow, and also the 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 streams and also the prawns, they consume a lot of mercuries, and also the small fish eat them, big fish eat them. So the big fish con, the big fish contain a lot of mercuries, and also their survival being threatened. The health of the fish also uh, being compromised. Yeah, so this is how human did to the sea, to the uh yeah, to the marine animals. Yeah. And try to think in another way. Uh yeah, you may use some methods. For example, you can use a big plastic, you can use a big container and put the seed inside into the container, and then the container uh put onto the sea. Yeah, and then the container can block the sea, can block the sea outside, and I mean can separate the sea, can separate the detoxified sea which inside the container, and also the untoxified sea outside the container. So it's a real sea, and then you grow the fish inside. Then you have some mechanism can allow the sea come inside the container, and then some of the sea in the container will go outside the sea. And during the process, you will detoxify the real sea water first before it comes into the container. Yeah, and then you will just you 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 just output the the sea water already detoxified, which is in the container outside to the sea. So you kind of like slowly detoxify the whole sea. At the same time, you can grow your fish. Good idea, right? But is it feasible? Is it workable? You still have the ship on the sea. You still pollute the sea. And the sea is the volume of the sea is so gigantic. How can you detoxify it using the humankind, human so-called technology?
Yeah,
You
I
try
think
to
the
again,
rate of pollution is greater than what you do, right?
yeah, and you couldn't reverse it. What we want is not prevent. What we want is not maintain. What we want is reverse. Is reverse. Is reverse. Yeah, yeah. So this is a big thing. This is not something like you try to maintain it. You try to prevent this because you already against a lot of nature. You
Yeah.
already keep pollute the land, pollute the soil, pollute the sea. What you need to do is not maintain. What you need to do is not prevent. What you need to do is reverse. So this
Yeah.
is thinking from the first principle. So everything violate this first principle, violate the law of nature, violate the thermodynamic law of thermodynamics. It's just nonsense. It's just somebody want to convince you. Yeah, wants to convince you by doing that it can help the earth, it can help the planet, so they can get the funds from you, they can get the support from you, they can get the grant from government, they can get the donation from the organization to proceed their project. Yeah, and this is their living. I mean, I mean, they work for that. Yeah, this is how they earn a living. There's a conflict interest here. Of course, you can help the planet by doing that, but how much you can do, and the capital and the time as opportunity cost. Instead of focusing on discount method, we can do other things. We can really truly reverse the pollution. Yeah.
Mm.
And most of the people don't have the ability to judge it because it's too technical, and we are specialized into something that we are familiar. We are not going to spend a lot of time to study about it. What we trust is the government. What we trust is the experts. What we trust is the scientists. But now we can see the government control keep increasing and the organization control keep increasing.
Mm.
Institution control keep increasing. They try to convince you the vaccine is good for you. They try to convince that uh, eating the fake meat is good for you. They try to convince you that the action of against the law of nature is good for humankind, for humans. They are on the frontier protecting the earth, the planet, but actually they are hurting the earth, the planet, because they're against the law of nature.
Mm.
Yeah. So uh this is the thing I want to add in for this polluted seafood topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any thoughts?
Um. Yeah, I think this is not only the those maybe organization, institution, or the government problems. Is about um the whole world's humans problem, right? And uh just look at maybe like populations growth, and uh yeah, maybe the world couldn't keep the ecosystem, the whole system, to feed so many people.
Yeah.
So it seems like because the population of human is already against the law of nature.
Yeah.
So whatever we do actually is just like um, benefit the whole humans population. And but the benefit here is not like truly benefit. It is like to choose the best uh, from the bad choices, to
Mm.
choose the best from the bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree what you say, and this is a wise thought. It's a smart thought. And recently I actually studied some things, and I found that something that can predict by the demographic, which is the the changes of the population. And so it made me think. Yeah, it also raised a question to every of us, which is all of these things, all of the cause. Is it because the human population is too huge? This is horrible. Yeah, this kind of thought is horrible, and people are against you. What do you think what do you think the human population is too huge? What are you going to do? Yeah, mm, right. And
Mm.
but is it true? You look you look at the law of nature. If the small fish volume suddenly increase a lot, and so the seaweed will become less and lesser, and small fish will starve. Yeah, and also big fish will eat a lot of small fish, will eat more small fish. Yeah, and so it create a balance, and then to allow the seaweeds, the seagrasses to grow back again. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you look at on the ground, If the grasses is too little, that means the animal on that piece of land is too much. So some of the animal will are going to die, are going to starve,
Mm.
or all of them are going to eat lesser, consume lesser. Yeah, and some of them definitely will die, and some of them still will starve. Some of the animals still will starve, and then when the grass grow grow back, maybe after you get through the winter and in the autumn or in the spring,
Mm.
mm, the grasses and also the plants able to grow back very very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the animal, the quantity of animal also start to increase. There's a balance here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, so for humans, do humans really know how to control the balance? Do human willing to control the balance? As a yeah, control the balance, because animal don't have a conscious mind. They just follow the law of nature.
yeah.
A human has reason. Human can think. Human can act. Human can engage the law of nature.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just now, what you want to add in?
Um, yeah, to me, like the ecosystem, the system of the law of nature. Yeah, it is somehow like coincidence, right? Because of uh, uh, the particular law of nature, because of particular conditions, and then they make the law of nature so that we have the organism in the world, including human. And but yeah, like you say, human are kind of like very smart. We can do something which is like go against the law of nature. And but because of the interest and also the ability, I think uh, sometimes we just couldn't uh, kind of like to create or to like to go back a new uh, balance. Yeah, it is maybe I think for human it is quite we are quite new. We are just maybe like a beginner at this aspect. For example, uh, to create to form the to put something back and then maybe do something to try to reverse to the law of nature. At this part, I think humans are still the beginner. We have a lot of things yet to be discovered. For example, the scientists have a lot to do, and then you can see that maybe over some years they will found something new to them, and then yeah, every few years we discover a little. So I think the law of nature is still not still far away from being fully managed or controlled by human.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you can't. Uh, you couldn't. You. I mean, you couldn't go against the law of nature for too long time.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's the law. Human is just one of a creature. We are not the gods. You don't have the ability to do that. You what
Yeah,
you
but
do is just kill the planet. Mm.
mm, yeah, it seems like we try to use technology to fix the world, but when we fix something and then the other things happen, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Totally correct. Mm.
Yeah. So I think is the one is the interest because they do that they also want to make money, and the second is their ability which they uh, haven't got the full knowledge, the enough knowledge uh, to do that.
Yeah. Uh, but one but one of the things but one of the thing I think we should know is, even though for humans is our well-being really increased over decades. Our technology keep improving, right?
mm,
Everyone agree about this.
yeah,
But our working time increasing, also increasing much more than that. And in the past, men need to work, women don't need to work. And
mm,
now women comes into labor force. And now we still we still don't have enough labor. Yeah.
mm,
Or maybe I miss maybe the labor force is the quality of the labor force is too low. And at the downstreams, everyone are competing the same job for a living because they just want to earn a living. They need to compete the job, but the job keep replacing by computer, the computer chip, by the AI, by a lot of software, by
yeah,
technology. Yeah, and yeah, but the high end job, of course, there's a shortage of labor. Mm. And but why we have so many labor and everyone work like the rat in the rat race, keep running, and they work overtime. Their working times double or triple, even
mm,
though in the pandemic, yeah, in pandemic, after pandemic, many people found that they work from home, but their working time increased. Mm,
yeah,
yeah, so why is this really good for human long-term well-being? Yeah,
mm,
something must wrong. There are some there's something wrong inside here. Some people don't know what is it. Some people know what is it, and they act. They think they act. Yeah.
mm,
Mm. Yeah. So this is the topic, and the next topic I want to make a review is about the the authentic the authenticity paradox. I just want to add a quick quote uh that I that I read from Twitter's, and yeah, the first quote is like this: young people spend their time trying to fit in, but successful people spend time trying to be different. So that means there's a system, there's a game. You can our world is like game is a system. We have some rules designed by some people, designed by the organization, designed by the institution, government,
mm,
and young people try to fit in the system, try to fit themselves into the system, so they can adapt. Yeah, they can survive, they can keep a living, they can keep their survival. But successful people spend their time trying to be different. They try to understand the law, they try to understand the rules. Yeah, and then
mm,
they think, they act, they do different things. They're not they, they are not just trying to fit in the system, they're trying to exploit the system. Yeah. So this is the first quote. And the second quote is even better, in my opinion. Successful people figure out how to be themselves, but the best version of it. Yeah, you understand the law, you understand the rules, you understand the game, you know how to play the game.
Mm.
But you also need to understand what is your value, what you want, figure out how to be themselves, the best version of it, the best version of yourself. Yeah.
Mm.
You may understand the law, you may understand the rules, but you don't want to do that because uh, the other side of the value give you greater benefits. Yeah. So even though you saw arbitrage, you can exploit, but you don't want. Maybe it's because the time put in is not worth for you. Just like for example, okay, let's say,
Mm.
yeah, you can, uh, let's say you are the influencer, and you have earned a lot of money,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can become a speaker. You can speak, and you can teach people something. You can earn money from that, a lot of money. Okay, but once you earn enough money, you kind of think, should I do this? Should I continue to do this? Should
Mm.
I spend my time on this? Yeah, there is a market arbitrage. People want to listen to you. Yeah, no matter what reason, no matter whether you are really creating value to others, but people want to listen to your voice, want to listen to your speak. And but for yourself, you know how to play the game. You know this is how to earn money. This is how uh, to 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 exploit the system.
Mm.
Other people don't know. Other people use their labor to work, use their time to earn money. No, but you use the knowledge, you use your ability, you use maybe the interpersonal relationship, you use your communication skill, you use your uh, yeah, ability, yeah, to earn money. And then uh, yeah, and although it's not easy money, yeah, it's still required to put some effort. Of course, you also need to put the time inside, so there is an opportunity cost. But
Mm.
you cannot think that if I earn enough money, do I still want to do this? Yeah, or I just want to quit. I want to do other things. Yeah, and or maybe you think that this is a good thing to do because you think this is good for society. You think you are creating value to others, so you keep doing, not just for pure uh, income or wealth or money
Mm.
reasons. Yeah, or some people, they can work for a big corporation. They also can work for themselves. They also can uh, go to the village and enjoy their life very peacefully. They know the game, they know the rules, they know how to make money.
Mm.
Yeah, they know how to do investment. But it doesn't mean that they need to keep doing it because there's an opportunity cost. You need to find a balance. You need to understand your value. You need to understand what you want, and then be
Mm.
the best version of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you couldn't understand the game rules, this is suck. Yeah. If you understand the rules and you don't understand what you want,
Mm.
it's also suck. Because at
Yeah.
the end you found that everything you obtain is not the thing you want. And this is so frustrating.
Mm.
You 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 fix the outside, but you kind of screw your inside. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this is also one of the uh one of the point I keep mentioning in that conversation, which is be yourself. It's not something like a tactic, like a small thing. It's bigger than that. It's like the philosophy. It's like the philosophy. Yeah. Okay. So anything want to add in?
Yeah, for your last point, the words coming to my mind is like whether we lose ourselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So try to find the value of ourselves and not losing ourselves. And yeah, we have also heard people say something like uh, someone could be poor, but he is so poor uh, to just have money, something like that.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
it seems like it do well to he know the rules well. He can make a big amount of money as he like, but after then that maybe he don't know his own value.
and he don't feel happy.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. One analogy is the game. Just like you play the chess, and then you are very good at that. You are top player,
Mm,
but you don't like the game. Should you still continue to play? This is a question.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you don't want to continue what you want to do, also is something like you have to find out your value.
Mm. And also, the value need to support your survival, or maybe the previous success you accumulate, the capital you accumulate from previous success enough to support your survival, so you can find your own value. You can pursue your own value.
Mm, yeah, and the
Yeah.
own value here isn't just we couldn't just take it for granted because the process of knowing the rules and to play well in the rules actually is really really difficult, and it will cost most of our time, energy, or maybe our whole life. So yeah, sometimes we just uh, kind of like overlook the the other things like our own value.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else to add in?
No.
Okay. So that's all for our today conversation. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.